2 local hospitals were ranked in the top 10 for Missouri as best hospitals. U.S. News released its national and regional hospital rankings today. Mercy Hospital Springfield was ranked 4th. Cox Health Springfield came in 9th across the state. The hospitals were scored in 3 different categories to receive their rankings: outcome, which looks at post-operational health; process, which sees if hospitals are being transparent with their data; and structure, which focuses on level of nursing care and resources.
We evaluated about 140 hospitals in Missouri, and we see that among those, 11 hospitals were recognized as best regional hospitals. So best regional hospitals recognition is given to a hospital that provides comprehensive medical surgical care and excel in multiple specialties that we evaluated this year.
U.S. News experts call these rankings a good starting place, but warns consumers not to rely on them. They recommend doing your own research and talking with your doctor about what will best fit your needs.